fist and went straight to the top of her chest. She hit the deck. Me not knowing what I was doing, jumped between him and Maria. When he pulled back his fist to rearrange this wonderful creation of God.
Oh, man.
As he pulled back his fist, my wife, who was 4'11.5", said, "Don't you touch my husband!" He didn't know how to handle that. In frustration, he turned around and went straight into the wall.
I have no idea what's happening here, but we're going to get into it. I have special guests today. So this is the Punk Apostate, and I am Brantley. Let's go. So today we got the Apostate Sisters. How we doing?
Hey, Brantley.
Hi.
Hey.
We're good.
Yeah. So you just so we were just talking about adamandeve.com, and you're going to try to have them as your sponsor, huh?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Inspired us, Brantley. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm always talking about how I would just love to help people who haven't gone there to make themselves feel good. To help them feel safe enough to do that. That feels like a really important thing to me.
Oh, we're about to kick off our season 2. So we're starting with masturbation episode, and it's pretty bomb. So yeah.
No way. Oh, that's awesome. Oh yeah. Tell me a little bit about your channel. Like what made you want to do this?
Well, long story short, we were raised in a doomsday cult. We do talk about it in a number of different places. But Patty and I don't think we had ever really dealt with it before. And then since we live in different states, we started talking to each other, via Snapchat and on the phone. And we always came back to the one topic. We're just like, anything that goes on in our lives, whether it's good, whether it's shitty, we always go back to our childhoods and being raised in a doomsday cult, which is the Worldwide Church of God under Herbert W. Armstrong. Some people have heard of him. A lot of people haven't. So we're kind of exposing who he is and what he's been about. He's long dead now, but there's quite a few splinter churches. And so this shit is still alive and well in a lot of churches throughout, well, probably worldwide still at this point. So our goal is to kind of expose the harms of that.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome. Holy shit. Yeah, no, that's crazy. I'd heard you guys talking about him quite a bit, just on the different videos there. I'd never heard of it before. What you said, the Worldwide Church of God is the name of it?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds pretty generic, doesn't it? But
yeah, I was gonna say, okay. I mean, I guess that's what they want to go for. Like, how do we sound normal? What's normal?
Right.
Yeah.
But you could compare it to something like Seventh-day Adventist or even Mormonism, JWs. There are a lot of similarities there.
Damn, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's so interesting because and that's funny. Like I wasn't Mormon or JW, but like a lot of the stories that just interactions that I've had with other people that are from those, I feel like I have a lot of similarities with my, because it was just more about the dedication, the level of extremist dedication to the religion, that kind of makes it feel the same. I know it wasn't, but it just that's crazy. So where was this church located? Where were y'all raised?
Actually,
we were in San Jose, California, but the church started in Eugene, Oregon. And then the headquarters when we were growing up was in Pasadena, California. And they had this really opulent campus. I remember going and seeing it with like the koi fish in the pond there, and the gold-plated Ambassador Auditorium. Oh, yeah. It was like the 80s, right? So lifestyles of the rich and famous. And Armstrong really was into that, really thought he loved looking like an important man that way. And so that was kind of the idea when you walked into Ambassador Auditorium is you were supposed to feel like this is what it's going to feel like when we're with God, when Jesus is over the earth or whatever. So
it's like a little slice of heaven. Okay.
Yeah. Just wrap it in some 80s capitalism and opulence and call it God and you're good. See how it works. Yeah.
And Armstrong himself, the dude accumulated incredible wealth. Even for the 80s, he had 2 private jets. He had $1,000. Like he collected antique pieces of things that were thousands of dollars, a lot back in the 80s. But at one point, he required his members to give as much as 30% tithes. And so with that kind of money coming in
on the gross of their income, like what the fuck?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. It's before taxes. Which, wow, that's crazy. How did he do that? It was like, well, there's a Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So really, each of them need the 10%. So it compiles like that. Like, what? How the fuck? How did
But they were
30?
they were Unitarians. They actually didn't believe in the Trinity in that way. They were like, no, it's a God family. It's just one.
Right.
But it's a God family made of those other things, but it's one, not three. Not Trinity, but I still don't quite know.
One-ity? I don't know.
Well, they were really good at like saying one thing out of the side of their mouth and then like proving it a different direction with a different explanation somewhere else in the booklet. It was like almost people just kind of like stuck where their brain was like trying to make sense of both things at once.
Right.
And it was just like the layers of keeping people like hooked in,
Right. I always felt like that with the Trinity in the first place. I almost feel like that was like a point in their favor because like the Trinity is so fucking stupid. And I swear, like nobody gets how it's fucking stupid. They're like, it's one but three, but still actually it's just one. And you're like, dude, that literally violates the most basic law of logic, like of identity and non-contradiction. Yeah. It's like
around that one are pretty impressive. Yes.
Yeah. I know that cog D,
In that way. Yeah.
That's funny. No, that's good. So how's it been going? Oh, that's what I was going to ask you about. No, so y'all were hanging out with John at BajaCon. So what was BajaCon? What is that?
BajaCon is Blue Water Atheists, Agnostics, and Humanists. That's up in
okay.
I don't know if it's based in Sarnia, Canada, but that is where the conference was. A collection of like atheists and secular speakers that came. So Hemant Mehta was there, the friendly atheist. Stacey's mom's podcast. Seth Andrews was a speaker. Forrest Valakai, Aaron Raw, just a number of great people. 604 atheists, everyone. Like,
oh shit! Oh right, Canada.
Well, we
a lot of Canadians. Although it's funny, it's like yes, we were in Canada, but literally we crossed the bridge and it was like 2 blocks. Like we could still see the bridge back to the U.S. where we were. So
no shit.
Technically,
cool.
We were in Canada.
Apparently, up until this point. Yeah, we've only been in the sort of the cult recovery space up to this point. We're still a relatively new channel, but we thought, well, we're also atheists. We just happen to be. So we wanted to kind of break into the atheist space as well. And so that's why we decided to go to the conference and meet with people, be like, hey, we're here too. We don't plan on going anywhere. So let's help collab. So yeah, we've been coordinating with other people. Great friends with John Gleason and his wife, Casey now. Yeah, they're awesome.
Oh, hell yeah.
God, Lady actually lives 10 minutes from them too. So I got to meet her.
No, who did? Sorry.
Godless Granny.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
And Durante and Tim Mills too. I've met him as well. Yeah.
This is since the conference. Nancy went traveling again. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
To Florida, I went through Alabama and met a whole shitload of apostates and atheist content creators down there. So.
Oh shit. Hell yeah. Yeah, because like John, he was the one that had mentioned y'all. I was was funny. And it's funny, I don't know. I always like I feel like it's just because of like being raised the way that I was. I always have like a negative outlook on it. He's like, hey man, they were talking about you at the conference. And I was like, shit, what were they saying? What did I do? I'm in trouble. I said something bad. And he was like, no, they were saying the Apostate Sisters are saying they like your content and stuff. I was like, holy shit. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
We've been following you for a long time.
Wow, that's awesome.
I think before Apostate Sisters existed, I was following you.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. When I didn't say anything.
Right. No, that's cool.
Well, I think you find people too by the apostate name. If we're like looking up Apostate Sisters, like all of a sudden you pop up. Ambushed Apostate. He's got great content too. He also pops up in a few others. So
I haven't heard it that way. Ambushed Apostate.
Yeah, he's
Apostate
great.
Ashley is out there too, and then Apostasy is Stacy from Stacey's Mom podcast.
Yeah,
there's a few apostasy ones out there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and Apostate Ann. Did you say that one?
Yeah.
She's from Apostate of Mind or something. Yeah, we should.
Okay.
I'd love to get like a panel together of just like all the apostate shows, and like I was talking about trying to do that for Skeptic Haven, and maybe put something together there. You know,
that'd be great. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Like a party all night, just rotate all the apostate channels through. I think that's a great idea.
that would be fun. Hell yeah.
After party, yeah.
Hell yeah. So were you familiar at all with Ray Comfort before, like growing up, or was like
the infamous banana video, of course. Yeah, that was him and Kirk Cameron. Yeah, I remember that vividly from, I don't know how old I was when that came out. What year was that?
Really? I don't know if I remember him from back in the day. I definitely know Ray Comfort more, I would say, from once I got kind of involved in the atheist world of YouTube and watching all the videos, right? I don't know. Do you remember it from childhood, Nance?
You sent that video to me. You're like, oh, my Nancy, you're going to love this. And you sent me that fucking banana video. It's perfect.
He's like sticking it through the, oh, so good. We literally have the emoji of him like putting it through his hands. Like, with gosh, that's one of our custom emojis.
Like, are they doing it on purpose, or do they really not know?
I honestly, sometimes I almost feel like he's just trolling the world. You know, he's an atheist and he's just kidding. It's a character. It's like that one. Oh man,
like
what's
Mr.
that one?
Bean.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like character he plays, right?
Well, there were those other videos that came out from the 80s. What was it? When did the Satanic Panic happen? Was that more 90s, or did that start in the 80s? Because there was this video that came out of, it was preachers like literally praying over Transformers or some shit, like these little toys that were like satanic looking, and say, in the name of Jesus, I command you to be cast out. And it was over toys.
Right? Oh God.
Don't you dare become a truck.
Right. Yeah, that is evil. You're supposed to be the truck and stay the truck. Okay, trucks are fine. Now, if the kiddos have the trucks, that's cool. But if they turn into something, that's evil. It was funny too. I remember one time they did a bonfire like that, you know, and they threw out a bunch of D&D shit, right? And a bunch of other shit, like a bunch of like records and everything. And like they were all validating what they were doing by saying they could hear the screams of the demons, you know, because you're not supposed to burn plastic and it makes noises when it burns, you know, it like whistles and stuff, right? And so they were like, that's the demon. I nailed it. I knew it. See, we were right. It's like, okay, I can take a Christian record and do the same shit, man. Like,
is that confirmation bias?
A little bit. Yeah. A little bit. Just slightly. Jesus Christ. Oh man!
Wow, shit! It's too good to be true.
It's that confirmation bias. Some powerful fucking shit. You know.
Agreed.
But okay, so like, I remember watching his videos when I was growing up, as just stuff they would put on in church, you know, and it was like it was very much so something to try to validate the belief, you know, validate belief in God, like. But not really a specific God or whatever, but like just atheism is stupid and crazy, right? And those are like the atheist delusion and all that. And I think a lot of different groups use him for that reason, because he kind of validates their beliefs and stuff. But yeah, so I didn't know if he was like something like that for y'all, because I remember those arguments that he would say growing up, you know. But
you know, since I don't remember him growing up, I don't think I can directly attribute that, but like I get what he does. Like, no wonder he's so useful to evangelicals, because he's so good at just like dropping a big fucking rock in the path of a thought you might be having, right? He's like, well, no, because there's this thing here, boom. And like, so if that's your conditioning already, like you're just shut off. And you're not going to like continue that thought that could actually lead you to, you know, real thinking about real things.
Right. Well, and he's got all these like hidden premises. He uses like some weird, it's all rhetorical type debate type shit. But it's like he uses like all these rhetorical devices, like sneaking in a hidden premise and stuff like that. And if you're not familiar with this stuff, it's like it took me forever, honestly, to try to like figure out like what the fuck he's saying and what's wrong with it. And I just keep watching, I keep watching these same videos, and I'm still like all the time kind of like, oh, that's what he's doing there. I got it now, because it's just like the way he talks is like, it feels like it makes sense, but it doesn't. But I feel like that's only because I was conditioned for so long as a theist, you know what I mean? So,
he kind of reminds me of our cult leader a little bit as far as tactics goes. Herbert W. Armstrong was an advertising man, and he failed at business, which a lot of these preachers are. They become pastors because they failed in business. So they found out a way to use other people's material as a way to, get the masses.
right.
But in this case, I feel like a little bit of what Ray Comfort does. Yeah, that whole Gish galloper, like throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. Armstrong did the exact same thing. And even if his shit didn't make sense, which it didn't, he would say how obvious it is and how special you are and how elevated and elect you are. And you feel grateful that you understand. Isn't it obvious? He makes people feel like if you don't understand this, you're dumb. But guess what?
Yes.
I'm just confirming here, like you're good because you're one of God's chosen people, which he believed in British Israelism, by the way. I don't think we mentioned that, but it's this concept of the lost tribes of Israel becoming the people of Britain. And then, of course, they added, United States and South Africa and Australia conveniently.
White English speakers, y'all.
Because we came from that,
directly. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Jesus, that's fun. Well, speaking of the elect and all of the best people that are the smartest people ever, we have the left-handed Jedi just gave 5 Punk Apostate memberships, and the people with those memberships are the elect. I just want to, you know what I mean?
Yes, we're members. Hi, left-handed Jedi.
So appreciate that. No, thank you so much. That's awesome. Oh yeah. I'm gonna try to get to comments in a little bit. I don't want it's hard. I have ADHD. I don't know if you can tell, but it's hard for me to focus on more than one thing at a time. So, but I will get back to the comments here in just a little bit.
Oh, you're good. Oh, I was in the wrong one. There they are. There they are.
Oh, you're in the private. Yeah.
Hi, Ember.
So all right, so I found this but this video of Ray Comfort. It seemed like he was doing stand-up. I don't know. This is from his Just Witnessing channel, which is like, it's basically just the other channel, but I guess it's slightly different videos. I don't know. I don't know how it works, but this one just popped up, and I was like, it'd be kind of fun to to react to this and
when is this from?
I don't. Right? It's like, it's clearly
he's very not gray-haired.
Right? Yeah. It's no gray hair. He's got the graininess of the video makes me think like it was made around the same time as Dirty Harry. I don't know. What was that, 70s? I don't.
Porn stash to go with it.
Well, there too, right?
Stash.
Yeah, and the feathered hairstyle that I still rock to this day, mainly because I don't like getting my haircut.
Is this making anyone think of adamandeve.com? Porn
Right?
stash?
Oh yeah, you're right. That's it's speaking of porn stashes. Go to adamandeve.com and okay, you can go to adamandeve.com and enter code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. And the packaging is discreet. I always forget to say that. I feel like that should be a given. I think that it'd be cool if it just said porn stuff or like sex toys, just in big bold letters, but everybody disagrees with me about that. But yeah, so get your butt some stuff. Go get it.
Get your butt some stuff.
I mean, I would announce to the world I'm buying sex toys. That'd be fun.
I know, right? Make all the neighbors be like, okay, well, that person's cool with that. Yeah. All right, let's see what he's got to say here.
Go into a health store and look at the faces of the people who serve there.
Is he making fun? What is he making fun?
It does seem like stand up.
Right. That was a stand-up bit, right? And he's making fun of people's faces with the fun. Do health store people's faces have a look? I don't. I thought they just looked healthy. Okay, that's the. I don't know what his point is there.
Maybe he'll get to it, or he'll.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess the point's coming up, right? That's what that is. I guess these are. I hate it when people do this. I mean, I guess I sort of do it too, but they just like start the video with some just like whatever, you know. It's just like, oh, this is what you're looking forward to, without any context or whatever. But I don't. I feel like you're supposed to just have it say something that kind of summarizes the video a little bit, right? So you kind of get an idea. It never seems to be the case.
Okay.
Here you
Hey, Paul requests prayer that utterance may be given to me.
Oh my God, it was 1993. What the fuck? That wasn't that long ago. I mean, that was a long
I
time
know.
ago. But
Well, I was 13. I'm 44 now, so it's a while ago.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's a while. But I thought it was the 70s, man. I mean, maybe his fashion has remained the same for.
Took him a little while to catch up to fashion. Oh wait, he's still lacking in that area.
Yeah, still to this day. I
Wait, does he still have the mustache? I guess I haven't seen his face recently because he's always interviewing people.
Right. Yeah, you got to catch him on his the Living Waters podcast. And yeah, he does have the mustache, and he actually is kind of in style now with the beard, right?
Oh,
because that's beards are back, right?
It's true.
I hope to stay.
It's a thing.
Once Captain America did it, we're all like, dude, we gotta try, because man, that guy's hot. Holy shit.
I miss that.
Beautiful. Oh yeah. I was in Infinity War for like 5 minutes, and then he shaved it because Thor gave him a hard time and said he was copying him. And anyway, it's the whole thing. But
Yeah.
That I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I'm an ambassador in bonds, that in this I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. If we're Christians, if we're followers of Jesus Christ, we should be fishers of men. Jesus said, come after me and I'll make you to become fishers of men. And I know each of us have got all sorts of excuses when it comes to evangelism. I remember once a number of years ago, I was sitting in a...
Did the cult y'all, or like, did you have to do evangelism? Was that a big part of it?
No.
None.
Oh no.
The electeds. They were not about going around telling people like, yeah, join our church. But he was all about the members, though, at the same time. He didn't expect his members to go out evangelizing. He was an early pioneer of like radio, like before televangelism was a thing. He was on the radio worldwide, and he got into all these countries because he gave free literature, and that's how he amassed the wealth that he did. He's like, oh, well, I'm giving away all these beautiful booklets during the Great Depression era for free. And so people would take it and read it and like, oh, this must be hope.
Wow. That's crazy. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I was curious about that, because most of the time that's so odd, because like usually with cults and stuff, like it is about being like a tight-knit group, but it's also about like getting people, right? Like getting like love bombing and all that type of shit, right?
They had bouncers at the congregations sometimes because you needed to like be invited to come in. It wasn't like just an open door, anybody off the street could walk in to go to church there. They wanted to make it seem like it was, but they never actually operated that way.
Wow.
At least not in the later years. Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, you got to come back with a shorter skirt or whatever. Then maybe we'll let you in. Jesus, that's crazy. Oh yeah, thank you, Giselle. I'm so bad at this. Yeah, please like and subscribe. I always forget to do that. And it really shows on the videos as far as the light. It's like I can tell if I forget to say it, because then I'm like, oh, that's why it's not being liked at all. But so it's a lot of. Not looking at the comments yet. All right, I'm gonna move on. All caps one already. I'm like, all right, I guess I gotta read. No, hold on. I can't get distracted. Jeez.
plane awaiting takeoff, and a woman sat next to me, and I thought I should witness to this woman. But I consoled myself with the fact that I'd ministered to about 500 young people the night before, and I thought, well, God doesn't expect me to do one-to-one because I've just done my bit last night. As I sat back, my conscience began to smite me. I began thinking, imagine if I was on my way to hell and didn't know it, and this woman was a Christian, and she couldn't be bothered witnessing to me, or she was fearful to. So I turned to her to...
See, that part right there is kind of like just the fact that they think, like what they think about like what they're doing is they think they're actually like they think they're saving you. Like they're that deluded to where they actually think that they are saving you and they're doing you a favor, by judging.
Did you
your
catch
stuff.
that he actually admitted he was doing a comedy routine there? Because he was like, I did my bit last night. I mean,
Oh,
like
that's
he's
right.
actually just saying the words right there.
He's like, I did my full comedy bit. I did my
That's right.
Reagan impression. Who was president? I don't know. Oh, I guess it was Bill Clinton, right? He's like, I did my Bill Clinton impression. Squinted my eyes.
He must know. At this point, especially, he must know.
Oh yeah.
He's not taking this shit seriously. This is an opportunist.
Oh yeah, yeah, and with a serious fucking Messiah complex, like crazy.
Yeah.
Jesus, like it's the fact that he can, like, one of the things that he does is he'll sit there and say, what's that? How does it go? Oh, it's like what is it? Spell shop, and it's like SHOP, right? And then he's like, what do you do at a green light? And people will say stop, because that's how little wires get crossed in the brain. And then he uses that to say that you can't trust your own brain. Right.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So people will like mess up because they'll be like, oh, I trust myself. I have faith in myself. And he's like, oh, really? Spell shop. And they'll be like, SHOP. And he's like, what do you do to green light? And they go, stop. And he's like, oh, stupid. Like, you shouldn't trust your brain. You should trust the Bible. And that's it.
And that's his bit, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of them. That's one of his bits.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is just such a fucking and it's crazy too, because I was just talking with my partner and like she was like the opposite of me, right? She had to be like very self-reliant, right? From a very early age. And but for me, it was like the opposite. Like they taught me to not be self-reliant, to make sure that you're reliant on the religion and on church and on God. And that really fucks you up because it makes it so hard to be self-reliant in the future. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
Did y'all like struggle with that sort of thing, or like how?
Like you
Oh,
wouldn't.
definitely.
Yeah.
I think one of the big things that comes up for me about that is the idea of risk assessment. Like if you're kept in like these tiny little confines and you don't get to see the grand possibilities out there, like not that you have to experience all the bad things, but like you should be aware of the world, right? That helps us like make a better gauge of where things are at and where we want to be and how to judge if person is out to get me or if this person is my friend. And we don't know those things if we've only been in these tight, controlled environments.
Right.
We were taught that we were taught to be fearful of everyone, that everyone was evil, everyone was out to get us. And so, like for myself, Brentley, Patty was already in college, but I was 17 years old and found myself, homeless at times. I was just shoved out into a world that I was taught to hate, to be fearful of.
Right.
So I don't know what the fuck to do. And I'm like, I'm just going to be fearful of everyone. And so that really, it did not help me progress at all. It was quite a struggle for a long time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's funny you brought it like when you were homeless. Did you like find it like weird when you felt like there were people that you could trust? Like, okay, these actually aren't monsters. They're just people.
Yes, but I was suspicious of them for a long time too. I'm like, okay, what's the catch? I have great people in my life who seem to care about me. So what's the catch? When is the other shoe going to drop or whatever,
Oh yeah.
But it took a while. And now that I'm an atheist and openly the person I actually always was, I've never been happier. Never been happier. Right. This is an amazing community. All of you, in the comments, we love you.
Yes,
we love you.
Yep.
Yeah. Everyone who watches Punk Apostate, Brentley's the shit, dude.
That's right. That's right.
We watched you before we were a channel. Yeah.
Right. Oh wow, that's so awesome. I can't believe it. Feels like I just started doing this yesterday, but this time flies.
It does.
No, that's crazy. Yeah, I know. Have you ever seen the movie The Village?
Ooh.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I don't want to give away the ending, but like I feel like for people that were like homeschooled or raised in cults or stuff like that, that is an excellent movie. Just a lot of people like don't like it. It's M. Night Shyamalan, so it has like a twist at the end and everything. But the way that it's structured is like very like fundamentalist and not letting the kids or anybody like see outside what the leadership wants them to see. It's just like, oh no, you don't go out there. And they like use fear to keep everybody like afraid of going through. They like, literally have like monsters and stuff that like, you know, keep the people in this little area.
Yikes.
Yeah.
But isn't that we're getting good at identifying that in cults, but I feel like if we look at culture as a whole, we have to realize those things exist there too, because that's just how we have to like have guardrails to like exist together as a society, you know, like culture, like it's literally in there.
Right. No, that's a good point. Yeah. And everybody like views the culture through a particular lens. And of course, these algorithms have not done us any favors in that regard too. So it's, you know, that's why you have like a lot of conservatives that'll sit there and think that they're getting all of their information like from an unbiased place, when really it's like exactly the opposite. Everything they're seeing is being fed to them through their algorithm, you know, just based on like watch time and shit.
Right.
But it's great. Like you have to really want to know what's actually true and be honest with yourself about that. Otherwise, you could live in a reality that is your own making, you know, no matter what. You know what I mean?
A lot of people do. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's really frustrating. I mean, like we literally have the technology that we could ever so gently with our algorithms, like lead people to liberated thought.
Right.
And we aren't doing that with it.
No,
we're just, you know, fourth quarter profits based on clicks, bitches. That's all we're doing.
Right. And yeah, that's why I always wonder, like, but we're gonna go to, like, if I could go in a time machine to the future, they're gonna be like, oh, you were back in the unrestrained internet times, like you were back before they had all the whatever, you know, they're gonna have some kind of guardrails for the internet, but they're gonna be like, man, you see, you were back when there were flat earthers on the internet and stuff, you know.
I think flat earthers is probably good for the internet.
Yeah.
If it's making somebody money, it's gonna stay there, you know.
Right.
You're not wrong.
I think it's great that they're there for other people. They're just like, you get that flat earthers use that same kind of thinking, right? And they're like, well, shit, hold on. So now, and it forces people to have to accept the fact that there are people out there that believe something that is completely absurd, that they agree with is absurd, but they believe this other absurd stuff, but they're not like them. You know what I mean? They're better than them. So they are useful in that regard for that. You know what I mean?
And sometimes it's only one or two different points that make sense. You'd be like, oh, okay, this sounds legit. Yeah, I'm on board. And then you have this collection of other people that are surrounding you. And if you're not talking to anyone outside of it, you're going to get that indoctrination.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And they'll and they warn you to not listen to outsiders. Just like Trump did.
Exactly. Yeah. Fake
They're going to tell you. They're going to tell you. Don't listen to them.
Right. Yeah, they're the ones that are lying, you know, the ones that are not. Just anybody that disagrees with what I'm telling you right now. Yeah, Jesus. So so I wanted to ask you real quick too. So like you did have a lot of the satanic panic type of stuff in your circle growing up.
It's so Patty and I, our stories are a little bit different. I know I can only speak for myself and say I never actually believed in a God. Like I just couldn't convince myself. But both Patty and I realized that we had terrible fear of like demons. For whatever fucking reason, we had a terrible fear of demons. Because maybe it was the satanic panic era, or just the culture at the time that just made us fearful of that. But God was a scary monster portrayed by our cult leader too. So it was like, where is the love in our life at all? Right. Fear and love look like the same thing.
Right. Yeah. And that, you're right. That is like a big, I mean, and I think the demon stuff too, this was what I was thinking anyway, that like the demon stuff is like meant to terrorize you into being, you know, the religion, whatever it is, like harder. Right. Because they all like, and you'll hear them say it over and over. Hey, I don't have to be afraid of demons. Okay. Because I'm doing absolutely everything I'm supposed to be doing all the time. So like, I actually don't have to be. And it's like, dude, don't you get that? Like what you're saying right there just proves that you are more afraid. because you're saying you don't have to be afraid because you're doing all of this stuff that keeps you from having to be afraid, which proves that you are afraid and you're just doing all of the fucking things that manipulation is meant to get you to do.
Yes.
Well, and then I've heard it taken to another layer where like this demon thing is given the credit if you have a lustful thought. If you think anything you realize you're not supposed to think, then it's like, oh, I'm being attacked by demons. Demons are giving me these thoughts or something. I'm being whatever,
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, holy shit. It just gets you mired in fear and thinking your own thoughts are bad.
Right. Yeah. Well, they're named after shit like that. They're like, I'm lust. Like they always have them. Like the demons are just, their name is just lust. So it's just like, so you are the one that everybody is lusting because of. It's like, nah, I'm just one of the lusts, I guess. I don't know. There's a club, lust A, lust B. That's lust 37. Like, I don't know how it could possibly work that way, but it's just,
I'm the butt sex demon.
there you go. Yeah. Dude, I think it's funny you said that, but I'm pretty sure sodomy is one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess.
Oh, oh shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. That shit freaking, because my family was really hardcore about the demon stuff. Like demon stuff, just fear-based shit in general. But like the apocalypse stuff, the demons, witchcraft, all that like is heavily focused.
Were you always in the South?
Yeah. I was raised in Florida. I've never lived anywhere else.
Because we've discovered even within the people we've met from our church, we find the ones that were in congregations in the South, the demon thing was way bigger than even I remember it being, or anybody anywhere else in the country has said. Yeah. So it's definitely regional too. Mm-hmm.
Really? That's so crazy. Because like I've talked to like other religious people and they'll like not even say anything about demons and stuff like that a lot of times. And I'm just like, how is that not like the focal point of like your religious, or your religious beliefs? Because it was for me. I was terrified of demons,
Yep.
But that's so interesting.
I mean, you're basically working with like witchcraft, gods and goddesses and whatever things at that point. It's a polytheistic way of doing it. If you're like fully giving demons and angels like credence, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know how you like explain that away.
I don't either. That's a good point. Like, I mean, honestly, the whole demon thing, like angels and demon thing, kind of just doesn't make sense to begin with. I think it's just fun. It's just like an interesting like mythos or something to go along, because there's nothing. They don't really talk about them that much in the Bible. It's like a little bit here or there, but it's not really a heavy focus on how everything works. And I think a lot of people like Kat Kerr and Robin Bullock, they like love to just be able to use that lack of clarity to make shit up. It's like their favorite.
People just use them as another form of control, if anything. If your life is spared in what seems like a miraculous event, that's because I'm a godly person and an angel saved me. If something goes wrong, you're like, oh nope, that was the devil. He influenced you. You allowed him in, and bad things happen because of it. Just another form of control.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mythological characters.
Right. And yeah, you're right. And it is like shit, what was I gonna say? It's like one of the here it is. I want to put this up. Yeah, everybody go subscribe to the Apostate Sisters channel.
Thank you.
And Jared's got it in there. But yeah, it is it's just one of those things. I think that is, you're right. It's like mostly I think for control. And like I said, that ambiguity does like make it so that people can mess around. But they can, you're right. They always can blame stuff right on that. And it's funny, like as an atheist, I'm always like, anytime anything happens, I'm always in my head, like, my mom's gonna say this is because I'm a fucking atheist. That's what that is, that's why this happened. We always have to like worry about like other, and we don't have to worry about it, but like we just know that other people are always like, well, that's because you made that joke about the Holy Spirit, bro. Maybe you shouldn't have done that. You should, show some respect, and you won't have any bad things happen in your life. Yeah. Right. But how has your family actually been? How's your relationship with them?
It's not. I mean,
the just listen to our voices. It's pretty non-existent.
It's a little strange. Yeah.
And we've never been close to them. No. In fact, I talk to them a lot more than my sister does. And that's maybe once a month if I'm lucky. And I call them. Like they've never actually called either of us just to chat ever.
Oh, wow. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry.
Well, they have no life. They have no life. Like, this is not a slam on them. This is actually like in compassion for them. They're like, they've been thinking the end of the world was coming since I was a tiny child, maybe before it. When I was a kid, they would say, oh, this bad thing just happened in the world. 3.5 years till, all the things are going to all happen. And so like they've just been waiting for it. And so their circumstances have just gotten shittier and shittier and shittier. And, it's like I'm trying not to laugh because it's like a nervous, weird feeling about it. Cause like, what do I do? There they are just waiting, probably scratching their fucking heads about like why these things didn't actually materialize every time they thought that it would.
Right.
It's so sad. So like, what do we talk about when we call them?
Nothing.
Like,
the weather.
They're not fixing their house. They're not engaged in hobbies. They're, like they are eking it out and surviving and hoping they were right. And so where is there room for a relationship? They don't give a shit about all the cool shit that I do. Hopefully they don't know about this. But
Damn, that's so crazy. Jesus.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. It's so sad.
Right.
If anything, I feel like we love the world more because we were taught to hate it so much. I love traveling around the world. Patty is an activist in a lot of different areas. And so we do believe in a better world, not one that the kingdom of God's going to bring, the here and now, the only life that we know we have. So fuck yeah, we're going to invest in it. Not like our parents who don't invest in anything because I think they're just so confused on why the world hasn't ended yet. They're like, it was supposed to happen by now. Oh shit.
My God.
I have no retirement. I have a shitty ass house. I don't have healthy relationships just because they didn't care about any of that.
Wow. Yeah, that is awful. Like, it reminds me of, like, the Kimmy Schmidt thing, where like just like living underground, just waiting for the end of the world that just never came. And I'm sure like reality, like, so they're still fully invested in that religion, that world, the world, what was it again? The World Church. The church
fell apart, but all the people who still were true believers went out forth into the world to create their own little versions of it, little fractals of it. So they've kind of bounced around from fractal to fractal
because that's what religion
to maintain the truth.
Oh God, that's so sad. That's
you disagree on one thing, and all of a sudden you splinter off into different religions, different churches, and wham bam, then they're against each other, and it's like, and Jesus Christ, people.
The one thing that cracks me up the most is like all these deliverance guys. They like do all these these deliverance YouTube channels and shit, and they love to just say anything that's not exactly their beliefs or fucking witchcraft. Like, I'm just like, wow, dude, just can't they just be mistaken? Can't they just be a little bit wrong about something? And I'm like, nah, it's fucking witchcraft, dude. You're doing witchcraft by not being what I think it is, or saying that believing slightly different, whatever.
Well, and as soon as you have something you can blame things on that everyone already knows deep down is bad, like witchcraft, being pagan, whatever, like if you already infuse like that equals bad to the people you are controlling, all you have to do is equate something with that, and then everyone's like, oh, I get it,
right?
And they get that like, ooh, it's pagan, ooh, I can't,
yeah,
you got them. You got them in a box.
It's that emotional manipulation, man. It's that same type of fucking thing that like the abortion stuff that we're like, you're baby killers, when obviously that's not true. It's not anything like killing at all. But they equate those things so that you can feel in your head like the bad guys are bad guys,
And that's the crux of propaganda. And we let it sneak by as religious literature. Man.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Here, I'll take a comment here. We'll let Andrew go first. Let's see. Punk Apostate, what kind of family do the sisters have left? I think at least one of them is married. Do they have children, other siblings? Yeah, it's a good question. Do y'all have other siblings and whatnot?
We do. We have one. We're the two So Patty's firstborn, I'm second, and then we have a little brother and little sister as well. All 4 of us are in different states. Both Patty and I are married. She has children. I do not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How are the kids doing?
They're good. I got 2 teen daughters.
Oh, awesome. That's every parent's favorite time that the kids, once they get to that age, all the parents are like, yes, they're teenagers.
Yeah.
That's what I hear
mean,
anyway.
kind of. But no, it's good. They're like taking on some of their own things and walking out the door to go to their own stuff. And I'm like, all right, we're kind of there. It's great. Yeah. Which means that I have time to do things like this.
Fuck yeah. I think with parents hating, when the kids are teenagers thing is as long as the parents are like trying to control the kids, or the kids were little psychos like me that were just out trying to do every bad thing they can think of.
There's probably a reason for that, Brentley.
Yeah.
People turn into rebels for a reason.
Right? No, that's
exactly.
True.
The smaller the box, the bigger the rebel.
Dude, I was
duh.
As a kid, and I've still got it's weird to think of me as a rebel because I feel like I've always been the guy that was like, guys, we gotta go home. No, this is scary. We're not supposed to be in this abandoned house, dude. Come on. The sign said keep out. And why we gotta go? That was like what I was doing the entire time. So I don't know. It's just, but I think it wears down on you. And finally, you're like, okay, fuck all this shit. I'm done. I'm done playing.
You knew nice it was Skinwalker owned. Oh, excuse me, demon owned.
Right. Skinwalker.
Yeah,
the ranch.
So I thought a follow-up question about our other siblings, and I would say our youngest sibling probably is still kind of in it because our parents are, and our youngest sibling has some developmental delays, and so she's still there with them. And then our brother, I don't know, he like kind of holds on to some of the things. It's like doing some of the things of the church, like the requirements, the rules, the do's and don'ts. It's like doing some of them kind of still makes him feel safe. Yeah. And so, well, that's how I'm perceiving it. But he does do some of them without, I think, fully claiming to be that religion.
Well, all the legalistic aspects of it. And so we grew up not eating pork, shellfish. We had celebrated the Sabbath. So we're talking Friday night to Saturday night, sundown to sundown. So he still clings on to not eating pork for some weird reason. But he does on occasion. I'm actually still in contact with him. So he doesn't go to church. He doesn't follow anything else, but I think he's afraid to eat a shrimp, just because that was instilled in us that was just such a terrible thing. That's it.
Wow. So you all had the dietary. Wow. That's wild. I mean,
Leviticus, biblical, don't do this, don't do that, except they don't, they mix fabrics, no problem.
Right.
But everything else, they pick and choose what they wish to follow when the time suits them. So he's kind of in that weird space. Still.
Mm-hmm. I think the dietary stuff is so funny because it's so odd. I always felt like that was one of the more reasonable things that were in the Bible, mainly because people got sick, dude. That's all that happened. People got sick. Don't eat that shit. Write that down. Nobody, no more ever again. That shellfish fucked me up for 4 days. Make sure nobody does that. But yeah.
But I feel like maybe some people find comfort in having sort of a checklist to say, oh, I can tick this off, and I'm like, oh, I'm good here, when it's actually more convoluted than that. But they like that just tell me what to do and what not to do, and I'll follow it so I don't have to think for myself, because there is a comfort in that.
There is
not comfort, but comfort.
Right, actual comfort. No, there really is. You're right. And I feel like that's a lot of times why people are oh, you don't have a meaning of life if you're not this religion or whatever, because that they can't, coming up with your own meaning is work, and you need to actually determine what the do's and don'ts are for yourself, and which is more work. And so, yeah, if you can just say, I'm done thinking, you just do my thinking for me, and then I'll just follow that. There is comfort in that. which is kind of sad. But really, it's just...
So Brentley, I served 10 years in the military. I went overseas and everything. And I think the reason that I joined the military, because I was in that weird transition period after 17. I joined at age 23 just because I had been homeless so many times and dabbled in drugs, alcohol, all that I needed some sort of I needed people to tell me what to do. And so the military kind of filled that space for me. I'm just like, okay, you just follow orders, put on your uniform and go. Life is very simple. And I think that's what had appealed to me at the time to join the military, because I needed that.
Yeah.
I could not navigate this world on my own because nobody taught me how to think for myself, how to navigate it.
Yeah. They just taught you how to follow rules all the time, right? Just how to be this one thing.
And yeah.
If you're never granted that mental autonomy, how are you supposed to know it's actually okay to like think through things and decide? Because we were just taught to like, okay, find the right thing to do. Right. And that's all you need. And so, yeah, my partner talks about that too, that it's just like, we're trying to be good there, you know, like that's what we're taught. We are given this one thing that tells us that's being good and that's going to make us feel safe and okay. Sorry, I say the safe thing a lot, but it's like, it's fucking important. That's lizard brain stuff, you know?
Right.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we are looking for that.
Yeah. I think honestly, the safety thing is like why a lot, and it's not everybody, but a lot of those of us like that were raised this way. And then were released into the wild. They always say like, oh, you sheltered them too much. That's why they ended up doing all these drugs and stuff or whatever, because you made it too alluring. And it's like, it's not that. It's just they don't know how to cope, right, with reality. It's like you don't feel safe. So you have to like, you know, and you're going to figure out a way to feel safe, whether it's just chemically altering the shit in your brain with a fucking chemical. You're going to figure out a way to feel safe, you know, which is why like drugs are so prevalent among like homeless people and stuff. Like when I was, you know, I was on the streets and like that, there were people on the streets that would never have done crack or whatever, and then end up doing that because it's just like a few seconds of feeling okay, you know, feeling like everything's fine for a minute, and a relief, you know.
And there's a connection to people when you're engaging in that too, like however brief, however unhealthy, like it's a connection to other people that probably if you're at that place you've been living without enough of, because that's like so important for us to feel like people give a shit about us, you know. It's like lizard brain stuff again. It's like if we're in the club of people, we are feeling more assured we're gonna eat and have shelter, you know. So like it cuts at a place that we aren't like consciously thinking about in those moments.
Yeah, that is such a good point, because I remember that was actually very comforting when I, you know, left the church and everything, and just the people that were the coolest, like the most open to me, were all the druggies. They were all the drug addicts. Like, yeah, you come hang out with us, man. You got a couple bucks you want to throw in, and that was, you know, that was like my new community. And the community to me before that was everything, because that was all I knew was like church community, and you lose all that at once.
Yeah.
You know, what are you going to do?
And I would contend the LGBTQ community has been very good in general at being that safety net for each other. Like a very good friend of mine, Jerry, who's 84 here in town in Portland, said that Darcel's, which was a drag club back in the day, was the absolute most loving place in the city. And I believe that.
Oh, yeah. Right. I've had some of the most fun, like even when I was like a self-hating queer for a long time, because, you know, it's just it's the way I was raised. And the most fun I ever had was when I was like, fuck it, and just like went out to like the gay bars and stuff. And everybody was so sweet. It was like exactly the opposite of going to church. Everybody's allowed to be whoever they want to be. And, you know,
I absolutely love going out to gay bars. In fact, I actually prefer them.
Right.
So, like,
gets rid of a lot of the bullshit, right? You don't have to worry about as much.
You don't have to worry about just gross people around. Like, there's a bonding that I can't even explain. You feel like you can be completely yourself. You can be anything, and these people will not judge you for it. In fact, they'll be happy for you. The exact opposite, yes, of church.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. I love it. Yeah, and it's you're just fully accepted, fully I love it. So we need more.
Celebrating diversity instead of conformity. Hell yeah.
You know what I'm looking forward to? Someday when all of the churches close, we can turn them into gay bars. Or breweries or wineries. Or for homeless people, put the churches for something of good use for a fucking change.
Right? Yeah. Instead of just brainwashing
Hallelujah.
people. Exactly.
Fucking man.
Oh God, that is so true.
Yeah.
Jesus. You really see what he's doing. We might
open my mouth boldly and speak as I ought to, and noticed she'd gone to sleep. So I said, "Psst, what? She's gone to sleep. Can't wake her." I sat back, supping my orange juice care of the airline. Now, I don't exaggerate because I'm a Christian, but within 5 seconds, the armrest on a modern jetliner fell off and hit me on the foot. The tray table fell down, hit me on the knee, and I choked on a piece of ice. The scripture despised not the chastening of the Lord, neither faint when you're rebuked of him came to mind. I was reading Pilgrim's Progress at the time, so I threw the book at the woman's foot.
So does he think he's Jonah? Is that what's happening?
She woke.
I honestly don't know. I guess he's talking to God about whether or not he should witness to the airplane person. Which
is well, I didn't get swallowed by a fish, but that armrest fell on my foot and it fucking stung.
Same thing, basically, right? Jesus, and now that's like my fear of like riding any kind of public transportation. I'm always like, shit, am I gonna sit next to somebody who like has to witness to me? Like, ugh, it's like a nightmare. Do you remember Pilgrim's Progress? Did you read that?
No, but I read Left Behind on an airplane once.
Oh God!
Oh no shit! Nobody sat next to you. I'm sure they're like, oh
Bradley,
no.
What's the exactly? What's the name again? I'm gonna write it down.
Pilgrim's Progress.
Okay, I like to keep track of these things. All right, Pilgrim's Progress.
It is the most uncreative piece of shit I've ever, and they love it, dude. Like they fucking like Christians or whatever, like think it's like the greatest book of all time, and it's so like I'm trying to think of like what is a part like. Well, the guy's name is Christian, so just that's right out the gate, like with how uncreative it is. And then he has that's right, he has a bag on his back that's his burden. Everything is fucking literal. It's just like it's so weird. It's terrible. It's like,
why does that sound like tarot cards a little bit?
Right? Yeah. It's probably the inspiration, secretly.
Huh.
Right, you're like that.
Look into that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They have I had the comic book of it because I wasn't allowed to have regular normal person comic books, so I had the fucking Pilgrim's Progress comic, and
cool.
It was
cool kid,
right? Oh yeah. It was like good drawings of a terrible story. That's all it was.
We know something about that. Mm-hmm.
Right.
We had the Bible story books. It was somebody Wolverton. What was his first name? This artist that drew like horrifying pictures of people with boils on their faces and drowning in the flood. Actually, I look for some memes coming on our channel about that. They were like horrifying, and it was what us kids were supposed to look at and read about God's great.
They were bad. And I think the reason that people deconstruct mainly out of evangelicalism is because they're told that there's this lovely, loving God that takes care of all your needs, the Jesus rainbows out your butthole type of Christianity. And they don't see what's actually in the Bible. And here, me and Patty are in this doomsday cult to be like, yeah, there were fucking dead bodies everywhere. Isn't that amazing? That means God is coming. Right. They were, in some ways, evangelicalism, because both Patty and I found our way in evangelicalism too, due to, they always target the vulnerable. And they saw vulnerability in both of us when we were younger. So,
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, they target them, and then people start to question it, and that's how they find their way out. I'm like, wow, I actually believe this shit because I was told I was loved. And look at what's really in there. We were raised knowing what the fuck was actually in the Bible, and they owned it. So I feel like I often describe the cult kind of to like, they'll be shitty to your face, but evangelicals will be shitty to you behind your back while being nice to your face. You know,
Right.
it's a little bit more deception on that level.
Yeah, that's that southern hospitality shit where it's like they'll be nice to you, like, but then immediately start, calling you the N-word the second you walk away.
Right. Like the
Jeez.
Mormon church. I was down there recently, actually. So the temple is not open yet. They are revamping it and going to open it to the public. But I was in Salt Lake City recently, and yeah, the hubby and I were walking around, and you would not believe how many fake smiles you saw around there. I was just like, ooh, the fakery is just oozing out of you, dude. It's like stop this. I'm not falling for it. Does this actually work?
Right. Oh God. And that's one thing that I think was like, I don't know. That was like one thing I think I really actually appreciated about going, from that Christian community to like this drug addict street, whatever community. They don't pull punch, like they don't pretend. They're having a bad day. They'll just fucking tell you they're having a bad day.
Yeah.
And if they're nice to you, it's because they feel like being nice to you. It's not because they feel like they have to. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the honesty because I have the hardest time doing the fake shit. It's like I struggle with that. It's and I shoot myself in the foot at work and stuff because I have a hardest time with small talk. I'm just always, I suck at it. I'm like, so is God or dead or what? What do you it's like, but
well, that's why I feel love and kindness coming from like atheist humanist space. It just feels more genuine to me because there's no reward and punishment system attached to it. It's like no one's forcing us to be nice to other people. We want to because we want to be treated the same way, and it's really not a difficult concept. It's the golden rule, and it's very simple.
Yeah. Right. And they actually follow it because they want to. Yeah. It's not it's not like you're forced to, otherwise you're going to be tortured for all eternity. Which
we're not looking at people be like, oh, I can save that person. They're going through a rough time. I'm going to preach to them, Jesus, and then I'm going to help them, and then I'm going to feel good about myself and get numbers up. No, fuck off.
Exactly. Yeah. It's because they have like to always have a weird motivation for everything. It's just not, nothing is genuine. It's like, how frustrating. And even like when they're helping people, it's like that was one thing that used to drive me crazy. I would never ask for anything. I hated asking people for stuff on the street when I was out there. But like, I remember church people would go and buy like homeless people stuff, but they would have to be like, oh no, I'm going to take your hand and take you into the store. I'm going to point out what you can, choose from and far away from the cigarettes and alcohol, because that's not what you need. I decide what you need. And it's like this weird judgy thing where it's like they're clearly just trying to make themselves feel better about something or whatever, doing like, but they're also judging at the same time. It's like, dude, you might as well have just done nothing. Man, I feel like you're doing more damage than good when you do that shit, Yeah.
Well, it's like missionary work, Patty has an experience going down to, what was it, Argentina?
Oh, no shit.
Story of starting to deconstruct at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it really was the things that I was trying to do to like really be the best Christian that I could that made it all fall apart. Because I went to Argentina and we were doing, like working on a Christian campus, doing construction work there, which is fine. But then when we went out to do street ministry, we brought these street kids into a building and made them listen to an entire sermon for an hour before we fed them dinner of Uncrustables and Cheez-Its. And then we went out to eat steak and fritas, potatoes. Yes.
Yeah, steak and Fritos. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And
flan for dessert. What I'm saying is it was fancy for us while we gave them shit and made them listen to us first. And that was pretty terrible.
That's so gross. Wow. Yeah, I did. It's funny you said that, Argentina. I actually went, where was I? Well, I went to Barbados, Brazil, and Jamaica. And did same type of stuff. Like did street ministries, and then we built a church over there. Well,
did you do interpretive dance?
I did. We had this weird fucking heart dance that we did, where we all had these masks, right? And it was all you would have to sync it to the music. Like there was no words, and it was all about like everybody wearing a mask that they show the world, and then when you take it off, it's like the opposite of that. And then Jesus comes, and he's got the little holes in his hands, and he takes your mask and throws it away and lets you be yourself, which is exactly what he demands you be, which is the way that he wants you to be yourself. So it's, but yeah, that was, God, it was weird. It was called King of Hearts, interpretive dance.
Oh God.
Yeah. Did you do something like that?
It's like they were appropriating healthy ideas around taking off your mask and being yourself, and then saying, we're the ones helping you do that, except they're the ones putting the mask on. Holy shit.
It's the literal fucking opposite. It's like unbelievable that they can get it this backwards.
The missionaries and colonists, they found their way all over the fucking place using different tactics. And if it wasn't them making you listen to a sermon, it was bribing them with money. So Brentley, my husband is from South India, and he was raised Hindu, but he comes from a village in India. He's very much like Mowgli from Jungle Book. He's got like elephants and shit around his neighborhood.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's amazing. That's a whole nother story. But he talks about how, his father is actually a pretty dedicated Hindu, but he's not fucking bothering anyone, and he came from money. And so when these British colonists came in here, preaching their gospel and actually bribing people with money, a lot of people took it because they didn't have the money. His father didn't, so he stuck to his guns. I'm like, no, I'm not following your fucking religion. So his father is actually one of the few Hindus that are still in the town of Gudalur in South India. The rest, it's very much a Christian Catholic town there in India, which is kind of weird that my husband was raised in the school. He was taught about Islam, Hinduism, as well as Christianity, which is Catholic over there. But yeah,
right. That's crazy. So they like came and like tried to spread their religion all over, and he was like, I'm gonna stay the religion that we already were.
Everyone in that area knows they were bribed with money, and that's why there's so many Christians in that town. It's close to Uti, if you've never heard of that. It's a beautiful area of India, but very Christian saturated now because of that.
Damn, that is too wild. Holy shit. Man, that is crazy. But that's like what, they love to do that. They love to spread the religion that way.
By any means possible. And if threats and persecution didn't work, money did. These days, it's like, they preach and try to inspire people too. They prey on people's weaknesses. And if they're having a hard time in life, well, they zero in on that and they provide a solution.
Yeah. It's very much the which I know, and that was another thing I think that always bothered me. It was like at the end of church every single day they were like, whatever you're going through, we got a solution. And it's like they very much were trying to do this emotional manipulation thing to get people that they knew were at their lowest, and then offer them a solution, which was just be my religion, and
well, that's snake oil, though. I mean, that's not like a big thought, but like snake oil, right? It was supposed to solve all your problems, which usually it was cannabis oil, which actually maybe that would have. But other than that, right? Snake oil, right? Like my religion. Oh, you got that problem? My religion fixes that. You got that issue over there? My religion fixes that.
Right.
It's pretty amazing.
And just like with the wellness industry, it's like you don't have to, like the thing that they sell you doesn't have to do anything. It just has to allow you to believe that it does something. And if you believe it does something, that fucking confirmation bias shit is a motherfucker. Like you'll just keep like, and they're just done their part, and you're never going to question it. And they'll just walk away and be like, I sold them a thing that they like. And that's it. It's crazy.
I did my job. I made money. That's what I'm supposed to do because I'm a man in capitalism. Okay.
Right.
Talking about that, though, when apothecaries became a thing, like it was that switch from, there was like healing people that had the herbs. They knew whatever, right? Like they were sort of witchy-ish, but like people who understood what plants to make poultices with and whatever. Well, then we needed to have, men run that. And so apothecaries got invented, and like they would make the little pastilles, the little like balled up pills, early pills to take. But what they did is they would loop in a plant that they knew would give people the shits. And so then people would take it and be like, Oh, well, it must be working because it's doing something. Like, this is a known thing that's how that all got started.
Damn.
Yeah, isn't that fun? So
fun. That's where like cutting the cocaine with baby laxatives came from. That was like the beginning of it. That's a common thing for anyway. It's like, that's how you get that fine powder.
Terrible.
That's crazy. But yeah, just the idea that it is doing anything makes you think, oh, it's taking the toxin. I love the toxin stuff. That shit cracks me up. Like, it gets all the toxins out through your feet. Yeah, you just got to soak them in the You seen those things?
Yeah.
That's so
wait,
stupid.
Epsom salt doesn't do that? Fuck.
Well, no, I think Epsom salt is good, don't get me wrong. But no,
Okay,
there's like this
right.
one that you buy with a little tank thing, and you turn it on, and it supposedly gets all the toxins of your body out through your feet.
Yeah,
And
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
it was some skeptic that like basically just turned it on and let it run, and it turned dirty or something. Like, it doesn't actually do anything. It's like the little thing makes the water turn dirty so that you think that's all of your toxins coming up.
No feet required.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I feel like it could easily be figured out, but these people are so like, they probably picked, some spirit must have come and used my device while I was not paying attention.
Oh, yikes.
So, that was my spirit guide. Just needed to get some of those toxins out of their feet.
That's right.
Jesus, that's so crazy. I suspect my mom got caught up in that stuff too, the wellness stuff.
People go crazy in that shit. Yeah.
Right. It almost is kind of its own little religion. It's weird how it works like that. Like, people are just, let's say it, like, people are just as dedicated to that shit as a lot of people are to the religions. Let me put it that way.
That's true. It kind of bums me out because, like, there might actually be some good stuff we could use in there, but then it's like all kind of, you don't know what's bullshit and what's like, okay, maybe that kind of soap would be great.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm open to that idea.
To be honest, I use a bunch of herbs. I use what I feel works, but yeah, exactly. I mean, some of them you gotta be careful, because you don't want to get sick or whatever. Because I'll take like kratom and stuff like that for pain and things like that. But and that's where I hear about all this stuff, is at those kratom shops, because it's like kratom and kava have like become a big thing lately, and they have all these shops, like an alcohol replacement type stuff, right? But they have all the other stuff too, which is all the bullshit. Right. But kratom definitely works, and so does kava. So I don't know. I don't know how. I'm sure it's probably not good for you or whatever, but it works. So I don't care.
Yeah, Logan Fisher. Yeah, essential oils. I'm definitely into. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, you are.
Those. Oh yeah, I like those.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna like heal cancer, but they're nice, and I think they can have like emotional effects because of our associations with scents in our lives. It's not like some woo-woo thing. It's like really easy to explain why it would have effects on us.
Right. There was one essential oil that my mom gave me that like you would rub on like your sore muscles or whatever. That shit fucking worked. I don't know what the hell it was. It was just like on a little roller bottle thing. But it definitely worked. It numbed the muscles. My arm will probably fall off in a few weeks, but it's like, oh yeah, it makes arms falls off. I forgot to tell you. But,
I mean, aspirin is a concentrated some plant extract, something or other. So I mean, like, it's not like we don't use plants.
Well, I mean, that's the kind of the joke, right? Is because like, they say like alternative medicine. But medicine is made out of all that stuff. So if it were medicine, they would just call it medicine, right? It wouldn't be alternative medicine, because then it would be medicine. You see what I'm saying?
That has to do with the patentability of it. If they can patent it and therefore be the sole ones to make money off of it, that makes it a medicine, and things that can't be patented, I think, fall outside of that. So once again, comes back to money and fourth quarter profits.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, in
Yeah.
India, they have, Ayurvedic out there, and my husband's family uses turmeric for literally fucking everything. So if you
Oh,
get a
really?
cut, a burn, whatever, you want to even whiten your teeth, they use turmeric of all things.
I
Yeah.
thought didn't we just hear that there was like they backtracked that, like the health department's like, don't use turmeric for everything. It was making people sick or something.
Whoa.
I feel like I just read about that. They're like,
Probably using too much of it, Fuck's sake.
yeah.
People, again, they go crazy over stuff. Anything I think it is good in moderation, but if you
Sure.
go overboard, I mean,
Yeah, it
it
does
have
it
negative effects. Yeah.
because it's all a
Mhm.
big balancing act. Our body is like a big balance, and so
Right.
if you do stuff that throws it off, it can mess it up. Something might be good in slow doses or like, only good in high doses and then the low dose. I don't know. Like there's just so many different ways that it can work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hence
That's
science, so we can actually figure these things out. But then, it's like if everyone's trying to make money off of the results of that science experiment,
Oh, yeah.
right. Yeah.
you
Well,
but
and
pure
it's like
science is worth
it,
it.
and what you're saying is accurate to a particular degree. There is like some people that will take that too far and say like that the like doctors are trying to keep people sick or whatever by like they're like I've heard that they have like a cure for cancer, but they won't. You know what I mean? They won't sell it because they make more money with people getting sick or whatever from cancer and doing these treatments that don't really work that great and stuff, right? Which when it comes to the patents and making money off of it, what ends up happening is like you get the patents first, right? So it couldn't work that way because of the way that they do the patents, so that they get rid of the money motive, right? Because it's like those patents, or I mean not the patents, the grants. You get your grant first, so you have your money already, and then they do the science with that grant. Then once they figure out that this medication works or whatever, then someone comes and buys the patent, right? But
Right.
the pharmaceutical company just buys the patents. They don't, although I feel like I've heard that they are starting to do things a little bit differently now. But as far as the
I hope
cancer
so.
treatments go, I know that's what I mean?
Right.
But yeah,
Right. I know. I feel like it's a weird thing of like, we should trust science. We need to trust science. But it's like we've got to see enough to know that it really is being done in the interest of people,
right. And you got look too that there's other countries that don't have the profit motive that we have. And so a
Yeah.
lot of times if they have, a particular medication like that, then probably means it's more likely to be working and it isn't some kind of cash grab from a pharmaceutical company. Because I'm not that they definitely do cash grabs and shit, you know what I mean? But that's
How it
why I always
works.
look in, a planet-wide consensus of scholarship is always helpful. When it
Oh,
comes
that's
to
a
that.
really good point too.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's wild. Yeah, but medical industry is fucking confusing. That's why I love that we'll just like talk to like Dr. Ben and folks like that, where just half the time I have to go to to somebody like Dr. Ben, somebody that I know, and be like, what is the deal with this? Because
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't figure out. They're like, look at the study. I can't fucking figure out the damn study. It's like all sorts of numbers, and that's it. There's too many numbers. I don't know. I can't figure it out.
I know when half the words in a sentence are words I have to look up. It's like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah,
I'll be here a while, guys.
I don't. Yeah, I struggle with that one. So here we'll go through. Like we got about like 10 minutes left or so. So I was gonna say, you want to? We can go through some comments if you want.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
we didn't really watch Ray, did we? He made us
It's
feel a
okay.
little uncomfortable, I guess.
Did you miss him?
It's the stand up threw me off. I'm just like I can't. I don't know. It's like, it's
I think we
too
saw
weird.
more than we needed to.
Right? Yeah. How far do we get? We got. Let's see. We got a full 2 minutes and 20 seconds. 2 minutes 20 seconds too long. That's really what that was. But but let's see what's okay. Warm food. So I will be taking comments if you want to like leave new comment. I don't know if I'm going to go back. It's a lot to go back through. It's a turmeric and European wild mustard are such crazy plants. Not only are they used as spices, but they have been selectively bred into Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, and lettuce.
Awesome. I
Weird.
love that.
Okay. Like bred in? Wow. Okay. I didn't even know you could do that. That's wild.
I love that this is where our conversation ended up.
I know, right? That's why I like these, because you can go all over the place, you know.
Yeah. And they all fit. They all fit. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're all in there, you know.
I love the story of corn. It was like grass with 3 little kernels, and then now we turned it into what it is. It's awesome.
What? Oh man, I did not. I've heard somebody mention that too. They're like, you got to look up the story of corn, and I'm like, did the band? I mean, I know one of them became a Christian, but that I don't know anything. Like, no, the actual with the C, no, with the C corn.
Yeah.
I had no idea. That was so wild. So they basically just invented it. Huh? Weird. Tons of Mice said, someone should do a blade. Is there still a blade expose on it? Which boat is it? Has it ever fallen off the church? Does anyone ever climb up? What? I touch. I can't even read that. We want to know. I don't know. I don't know what any of that's referred to. What is the blade? What's blade? We're all very confused here, Tons. I love it when I get, because I don't read the comments before I put them up.
So they could have been talking about another comment.
Yeah, probably watched. Yeah, and so half the time I'm just like, I'll just make up what I think you might be talking about, but probably not. But whatever.
Take away from the...
They can't correct me because I'm the one with the microphone, so it doesn't matter.
It's my channel. I do what I want.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
Is it really what it really trips me out? Everything is mustard. Everything is mustard.
Is there a biblical reference there? Something about faith as small as a mustard seed?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
it can turn and it can diversify.
That's what Jesus was on. Yeah. That's what he meant. Hey, Gisela. So you should get a last name that suits him better.
A fucking man.
Yeah, dude. I actually don't have a last name myself. I try to do more like Madonna or Moses. Just one name.
Moses.
It's good for me. Yeah. Did
Madonna or Moses?
Name?
I'm gonna take that one with me. That's great.
Right.
Like they're the same. Yeah.
Right.
Makes sense.
I mean, yeah, they're the same. Just one name, right? Confused apparently. Check. Yep, you nailed it. Yeah, you sure did.
Oh, I love your viewers. Oh, yeah.
There it is, the smallest seed.
It's not even close. But
oh yeah,
that was one of the first things that I figured out that was kind of messed with me, because it was Eli Bosnick from Scathing Atheist and all them, and he was asking questions to people that were protesting an atheist conference, right? And that was one of the questions, was like, what's the smallest seed? And I was like, in my headphone, I'm like, oh, I know this one, it's the mustard seed. And he's like, nope, not even close. That's like not. In my head I was like, but Jesus said that, it has to be true. He can't lie, dude. So you got to be wrong. But no, looked it up. Jesus didn't know, he's not good with seed sizes, I guess. He's just not, he dropped that. He wasn't paying attention in that day in heaven or creation class or whatever the fuck.
I don't even think Jesus said it was the smallest, though, right? Wasn't it just like faith the size of a mustard seed? Was there actually a claim of it being the smallest?
Yeah. He says the mustard seed, which is the smallest of all seeds.
Oh,
that's
okay. Well, clearly I don't know my Bible. So I'm okay with that.
It messed me up for a while because of that. It's funny.
I know Armstrong, the leader of our cult, in his sex book, he claimed that the sperm is the smallest of all cells.
Wow, that's quite.
I don't know. Yeah, he was very proud of it. It's so infinitesimally small. And then he was like, and also the egg is there and it's bigger. And he didn't say that the egg is the largest of all human cells. The fucker.
Oh.
This is a big deal.
That's so wild. It's like just that's so weird.
Logan confirmed it's literally the smallest. He did say it was literally the smallest. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, that's what I just said. Wait.
Oh, and
actually,
okay.
not
the smallest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Logan. Oh, I see it. Yeah, Logan said. Yeah, he did say it was literally the smallest. I know. It's weird.
Come for it. I like it.
That's great. But that's what I was gonna ask. What the fuck? A sex book? What do you got? Y'all got a sex book? How did?
No, that's personally. We're reading Herbert W. Armstrong's sex book. Our cult leader wrote a sex book.
He wrote the book on fucking. Wow,
He did.
that's.
And we are reading through it in our Unpack It series with our flaming gay friend Joel, who's also raised in Worldwide Church of God, and it's fun. We're going chapter by chapter.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. That's fucking brilliant.
We're finally to the biology, and we are almost at the point of penetration.
Right there, ready to go in.
Michael's like I said, a cult with a sex book. Color me fucking surprised.
Well, here's what he did. He made sure to tell everyone how everyone else was repressing you so much, and I'm giving so much understanding of how amazing and beautiful God's plan for sex in marriage is, and I'm so free with it. I'm so sex positive. Here's the limited place and time and way you can do it.
Positions, too, by the way, he said there's only 2 prescribed positions. Yep.
Really? Missionary and reverse
exactly.
missionary?
We never found
No
a
school going.
second position. I have no idea, but a little bit of juicy gossip about our cult leader, Brentley.
Huh?
We're not going to get into the pedophilia stuff because that's just fucking disgusting. But he apparently kept a flog log, like literally this little black book that was revealed in an expose on him, where he kept track of his flog sessions. Meanwhile, he's telling his members that there's only 2 prescribed sex positions within a marriage, and you're not supposed to masturbate, which we cover that too. So yeah,
wow,
and yes. And he apparently took his private jet to go to, England and buy some kinky sex toys. There's a legit newspaper article out there about him.
Oh my God.
And
I think
funny.
Armstrong would have loved adamandeve.com, you guys.
Yeah.
Right. That's right. He would. Yeah. And that's,
I think he was a closeted kinky person, but he couldn't show it. But he started to in his old age because there you go.
There you go. That's it. Yes. That code Brentley. At checkout.
Trying to take care of you, buddy.
Got it. Thank you. Dude, that's so crazy. Why is it? Why can't I always wonder, like, why can't we just have a cool cult? Like, why isn't there ever a cult where you're just like, oh yeah, those are just cool people, man. They all stay at the compound, they do their own tomatoes or whatever. Like
you should know I'm considering starting it. So
But it never lasted. They're always like out now. The cult leader is just marrying all the children. All right, I guess it had to happen at some point. Like, what the fuck?
Watch the movie Wanderlust. Wanderlust is a fucking hilarious movie. At least I thought it was. I mean, there's like a winemaker who's a nudist in it and everything. Now you would think the movie wouldn't be good because it's plain vanilla people in it. We got Jennifer Aniston and Paul Rudd. Yeah, that's
hell yeah.
And you expect it to be just kind of another film with the same sort of comedy. No, that movie's hilarious. Wanderlust, go see it. It's funny.
Wanderlust. Fuck yeah.
And it's about they call it intentional community, not commune. That they all meet up. Yeah.
Oh, that's what I would call my commune too.
Intentional community.
Good.
Yeah.
Intentional as opposed to like the unintentional ones that we're all a part of.
Exactly.
I just accidentally fell over here. Now I'm part of a community. And it's completely unintentional. I don't know what happened.
Wait. We start talking a little bit more about sex and positions here, and now all of a sudden your comments are going crazy. What's that about?
I know. I don't know. It's weird. It's like everybody's got something to say about the.
We all prefer this over the natural health conversation.
And it's the full frontal. Oh, wait, hold it. His name's Full Frontal too.
I love it. That's
full
great.
Frontal exposure. Oh yeah. So
Maxi
That's it. Maxi. And I'm demonetized. No, that's great. Yeah, it's fine. Every time with Alex here.
At least we didn't go for ball sacks this time. Holy
right.
shit.
I wore that one out.
That's our own channel. We'll talk about balls over there.
I keep on messing
up. Herbie's old ones.
Herbie's old crusty balls.
Oh, that's just so gross. No, balls are great. They're not gross at all. Mr. Anti-idiotic. So, why people have such a boner for Trump, I don't get it. Yeah, I don't know. I was out of curiosity, does like your family have any political leanings in that direction, or is it?
I mean,
They're
apolitical?
non-voters.
Oh,
They have political leanings, but they are non-voters.
no shit.
what?
Wow,
I
that's
didn't know
crazy.
they vote.
Oh, they've never voted. Yeah. They like to
Oh,
get
wow.
really like all upset about, whatever the group is that's being hated of the day by Fox News, but no, they don't vote. So it's fine.
That's
I
so
had no
fucking
idea.
weird.
I actually freak out less about it because I know they don't vote.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
So-
that's a little bit comforting. Yeah, comforting.
Oh, comfort.
Yeah,
We talk
it
about
was.
comfort so much.
Yeah, this young Ray. I know he was doing a stand-up routine, but it got really boring really quick. So we just have more fun hanging out. So that's
Wait.
what tends to be what happens.
It's like budget Magnum PI.
Yes, that's good. Yep. Oh my god, that's funny. Here, I'll get this one of full frontal real quick here. He said, "Hey Punk, that cult leader was exposed in an interview I did by a surviving cult member. He dropped. Oh, was it? Oh, shit, I can't, it's,
Maxi pad.
oh, the maxi pad prophecy about how he doesn't wipe, so he uses maxi pads. What the fuck? Because he can't wipe. That's a problem. Like he's like, I don't do that.
Oh wait, are we
Only
still
losers
talking about Trump?
Wipe. Oh no, this is a cult leader that he full
Yeah.
frontal
Oh.
covers David E. Taylor, who was another cult
I
leader.
figured this out.
And
Oh,
yeah, he
David E.
does.
Taylor, I see it.
That's his whole channel was about exposing it. Yeah, you should check it out. Check it out.
I
You know, it feels
will.
like
Yep,
very
I'm writing
similar
it down
type
now.
of
Full frontal. Okay.
stuff. And Drusilla said the ball sex stream was fun. I like that we're just calling it that now. That's just the ball sex stream.
The infamous ball sex stream.
That's right. It was
I
like
remember the day like it was yesterday. Wait, it was yesterday.
Right. Yeah. It was like I hadn't been able to stream for like over a week or something because of that fucking storm.
Yeah.
And so I was in a mood. I don't know. I was just in a weird mood that day.
Well, we're happy to kick you off again after a week here. Yeah.
Right? Hell yeah. No, I appreciate it. Feels good to get back. Although it's gonna end in like a couple days because I got another one. We got another one coming on Tuesday. School's already closed tomorrow. So
Goodbye, East Coast. You were really nice while you lasted.
I know there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of property that Ben Shapiro can buy because it's underwater.
Yep. Yep.
That's all. Oh, here you go. Thank you. Andrea's got it. She's always on
perfect.
top of it. She is our link czar.
Thanks, love.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think I said those words correctly. Corporate said, Church of the White Buffalo believed Jesus appeared to the Native Americans and appropriated a lot of culture, but didn't bother anyone. Naked, less scary Mormons.
Ooh, I gotta write all this down.
That's interesting. The White Buffalo. Interesting. I don't know that one. Huh.
We learn about new ones all the time. Jesus.
Right. Well, and what's really freaky is that now they have all of these online ones, right? Which just makes it that much more insane because you can just make up shit. And I don't know. I mean, I guess you could just make up shit. I mean, they're all going to make up shit anyway. But I feel like you could say that you have magical powers better if you aren't right there in front of them. Be like, look, I got the rabbit out of the hat. And it's just a rabbit cage down there. They don't know, they just see the hat, but it's a forced perspective. I don't know. What and pink ass prostrate? I don't know. I do have a ball gag, but I mean, I don't. I mean, never mind. But pink ass prostate. I don't know. What
yes.
Autocorrect makes Apostate Sisters sometimes say things about prostates.
Oh, that's what it was.
It does.
And I see what he's saying. Okay, I got it. Okay, these are branded sex toys there. The Brentley ball.
Gag. See, okay, Brentley, we need to go in on this at some point here because I would very much like to come up with sex toys that are like shame busting. That like actively address people's shame that they might be going through. And I don't really know what that means yet, but like maybe we can collab on this because we could have good ideas together about it.
That is an excellent, because that's the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was the fucking because I guess we're kind of running low on time now, But the next time we should talk about the like purity culture and how it kind of fucks up your ability to feel okay about having sex and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right?
We're going to
Brandon,
cover
we
that on
want
our
to-
channel this season.
Yes.
Really? Oh,
Come on
hell
our
yeah.
channel, please.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Love to have
I'd
you.
love to. That'd be fucking
We'll
awesome.
talk sex toys.
Yes. All right. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out because like I still don't understand how to do the products or whatever that you can sell through YouTube. I'm trying to figure out how to fucking do it, but I don't know if they're gonna let me do sex toys because I really want to do some dildos and stuff. I really want to do the banana, the Ray Comfort banana dildo, right? That says Ray Comfort on it, and it's the shape of a banana, but with a little tip at the end. You know what I mean? Like
Will it be Punk Apostate branded on the side or like on the button area?
What picture you're
Yeah, you'll have.
talking.
Yeah, you'd have my little symbol up in the right corner. That would be awesome, right? I would fucking love that. But I have no idea how it works. So far the ones that I've seen, they're like one of those things where like we have the shirts, the mugs, the fucking whatever, all the stuffs, and then we just put your design on it, and then it just completely goes through them, and it's a lot easier than trying to do anything else, right? So I was going to go that direction, but I was like, maybe I can just, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I could just figure out a way to sell it myself or something on Etsy or something. I don't know.
Oh, I was looking for a picture here. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, they already have one.
It's a circumcision banana.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yes, that's what I need right there. That's it. Hell yeah, dude.
Oh no.
Great.
Here's the jalapeno I had the other day.
That's a spicy. That one is.
I just haven't had my pictures pulled up, so that's fucking awesome. Yeah, I know how to grow produce.
That's awesome. Oh yeah. Let's see. Lord it said, the best positions are the one way and the other way.
Agreed.
The one way and the other way. Yes, both those are the best. That is accurate. But well, hey, thank y'all so much for hanging out. This was so much fun. And tell us again where we can find your we can find your content.
Yeah.
Yep, we're on YouTube, Apostate Sisters. We're also on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook technically. But yeah, come find us. We have some fun, and we have 3 series. We have our podcast that up till now has been mostly Nancy and I talking about whatever we wanted to talk about. We have Unpack It, where we're reading Herbert W. Armstrong's sex book and other cult literature and picking it apart. And then we have also been doing interviews with people from our cult and people who are in helping spaces for those coming out of cults.
Yes. We do have an entire 6-part series on Herbert W. Armstrong and the Worldwide Church of God that we were raised in. If anyone is curious about that organization, we go into great depth about that. And we are about as uncensored as you are, Brentley. So I figure anyone who watches you can watch us too. We're pretty dirty.
Hell yeah. No, I could
very free. We're very free.
Very free. Yes.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I always say it when I go on like other shows. A lot of times I always feel like I get to an awkward point where I'm like, are we allowed? You haven't been swearing this whole time. Have I been? Am I allowed to talk like I've been talking for the last 45 minutes, or am I? I'm like, it's fine. This one just won't be monetized as whatever. It's like, okay. So I should have said something at the beginning. But, no, that was awesome. Thank you again so much. This is really cool.
Thank you, Bradley. Awesome.
Yeah, you bet. We'll definitely be getting together again, and just hit me up, and we'll head to on your show, and I definitely want to get you back on here again at some point. I want to see if I can get John on here too. I want to maybe just do a couple of people, and we can all hang out.
I'll talk to Casey. Yeah, that'd be nice if you were on there too. So yeah.
Right.
All
yeah.
right, godless engineer. Yep.
That would be great. We should just do like a panel. That'd be a lot of fun.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
All right. All right, y'all. Well, you know how it goes. We say well, let me put up my screen here. if you like what I do, you could like and subscribe. If you want to become a patron, it's patreon.com/Punk Apostate. If you want to do a one-time payment on Cash App right now, it'd be actually really helpful because of all the hurricane stuff. It's cost quite a bit of money. But the cash tag is Punk Apostate. If you want to become a member, you can hit that little join button. If you want to email me any ideas, I do have somebody that just email. I got to get back to them. It's the occult, the occult examiner, and I do want to go on their channel and check it out. But they sent me an invite, so I'm going to be doing that. Other than that, you can join our Discord, and all the links on the socials are down below, and you can follow me on all that type of stuff. I will be putting their links as well in the description once I get all the stuff there, but sometimes it takes a minute, but I will get it in there. Speaking of getting it in there, if you want to go to adamandeve.com, I'm just kidding. But yeah. So thank y'all so much again for hanging out. And the main thing is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate. And we will see you next time. So what's y'all's favorite